Okay, here we are. It's going to take a few seconds for everyone to jump on. But welcome, my name is Melissa Eickenhorst, and surprise, I'm sitting in my study at my house with my very dear friend, Rachel Hofseth. I'm so super excited to have her here with me tonight. We are going to chat with you about her journey to Emerald. So it took Rachel 2 years and 9 months to achieve this goal. And I have watched her entire journey. I've watched her be consistent and persistent and positive. I've watched her never give up, and I've watched her keep moving forward. And so tonight we're going to dig in. We're going to ask some really specific questions that hopefully are going to help you go out and build your Plexus business. So Rachel, first question for you is, I want to know about your journey to Emerald. So talk to me about your ranks. Like when you became, how long did it take you to get to silver? And then when you were silver, how long were you a silver? How long were you a gold? And so on and so forth. Because I know that there are a lot of people out there that they're working towards their next goal, but they can feel stuck sometimes. And I know there were a couple times in your journey where you felt stuck too, but I had a front row seat of how you never gave up and you pushed past those hurdles maybe that you had in your business. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. Okay, so when I started, it took me 3 months, 3 months to get to silver. And it was kind of on accident a little bit. I got my first 2 ambassadors, and I knew that third could get me a $100 bonus. So 3 months to silver. It took me a total of 9 months to gold. And then I sat at gold for 10 months before I hit senior gold.
Okay, so 19 months into your journey.
19 months into
before you hit senior gold.
Yes.
Okay.
And then crazy enough, the very next month I hit ruby. So I mean, it was like, oh my goodness, okay. Got to ruby. It took me another 4 months to get to senior ruby. And then I sat at senior ruby for 10 months. And then it puts me here at 2 years and 9 months. I can't believe it.
Okay, so I know that that's really encouraging to some people. So 19 months from silver to gold. She was a gold ambassador, just getting started before she hit senior gold. And then another 10 months you sat at senior ruby. So there were definitely, your business was not a business of this rolling momentum. You hit your momentum at senior gold, quickly went to ruby, but then when you hit senior ruby, you sat there for a little bit. Okay, all right. Let me ask you another question that I get asked a lot from new ambassadors, and that is, how many level 1 ambassadors have you personally sponsored?
I would say probably about 43.
Okay.
43, 44.
Okay, perfect. So what's interesting about that is we ask this question a lot on the Jewels of Excellence page, which is the Facebook page with all the Plexus jewels. So this question has been asked a lot of times, and people will answer, and you will see anything from 14 or 15 all the way to upwards of over 100. But when we take the number and we average it together, it always lands somewhere in about that 40 range, okay? So for those of you out there that are wondering, how many people do I need to go out and personally recruit, a really great goal is that 40 mark. And I know for me, when people say, how'd you do it so fast? It was just that I found my 40 faster. Really and truly, it's you're gonna move faster the faster you find that number of ambassadors. I'm not saying 40 guarantees it, but it's gonna get your team moving in the right direction. So, okay, awesome. Okay, so tell me, when you first started your Plexus business, what were your opinions of the industry of network marketing?
That's a very interesting question, because I actually did not really even know what network marketing was. I was very familiar with the party planning companies. My mom was in one. I had friends that did it. So I understood that part of the industry. I liked products being sold from friends. I did. I enjoyed going to parties a little bit. I enjoyed going to parties when I got to host it and get all the free stuff. But I was also kind of only going to the parties that I knew that I liked the products. I didn't want to go there because you always kind of have that feeling of, oh, they're gonna they're going to pressure me to buy something, or you're going to feel obligated. So you kind of like it, you kind of don't. So that was kind of my first opinions. And then when I was introduced to Plexus and I started talking to Kristen about it, it seemed different. Like I was like, okay, you're not having parties. You're not, you don't have any inventory, like all of these things that I knew. So I was like, okay, tell me just a little bit more about it. And I wanted the products for the cheapest price, but I did. I told her, I said, I don't want to do this. I just want my products for free. I don't want to grow a team. I do not. That's not what I want to do. I'm not that kind of person. I had it stuck in my mind that you had to be a certain type of person to be in this industry. And it was just this cookie cutter, outgoing, salesy type of person. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So just tell me how to get my products for free and leave the rest out.
Okay, so you have like a stereotypical network marketer in mind, which you did not fit into that box. You did not consider yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like give you a little jab here, and this is like totally impromptu, but like, what would you say? You're gonna love me for this. Okay, what would you say when people get a first impression of you, what would you say that your first impression is that you give off to people? I don't see this, but she herself has told me this. And so I just think that this is interesting for people that are viewing, that maybe look at Jules or look at people in the business and they think, I'm nothing like her. So, okay, tell me.
Well, I'm actually very not outgoing. When I go into a room with people, I don't talk to anybody unless they come talk to me, because I'm just so nervous. I don't know how to start up a conversation, and I have been told that I just give off a really bad impression. First impression, I don't know.
Rachel's told me that. But that's interesting. So someone that maybe has heard from other people that their first impression, you didn't give them a good first impression. Right. But like you overcome that because she's amazing and so genuine. And she's a yellow, which means that she loves to help people and she loves people really, really well. So if you have that more like introverted personality, I have a ton of friends that are Jules that aren't the, bubbly person that walks in the room that's talking to everyone. So you're in good company with Rachel. Okay, so all right, and then your opinions of network marketing were party planning, and you saw that Plexus really was different. Was a different kind of company. Would you say that your impression was leaned more towards negative or more towards positive when you first kind of dug into Plexus? Like, you didn't mind being a customer, but what about the business side?
I really, like I said, when I looked over the compensation plan, it was totally overwhelming and confusing. But I understood the 15% and the 25%. So I could understand that part of it. And I would, like I said, I had my mindset on what type of person I had to be to, sell the business to people. Because that's what I thought. If I'm going to grow a team, if I'm going to, do all these things and get the car and go on these fancy vacations, I had to sell the business to people. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to take the products and I want to share them with people, and then I can get my products for free. Okay. So it wasn't negative. It just, it wasn't, I didn't believe in myself. So.
Okay. And we'll get to more of that later, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then when did the actual business opportunity click for you? So you're in, it took you 3 months to get to silver, but you said that you got your first two quickly, and it was kind of on accident because there were people that had been, I know people that had been in the industry before. And so at what moment were you like, okay, I get this. I have the goal of turning this into something that's going to earn an income for myself and my family?
Well, it took me actually through gold, and organically it kind of happened. I mean, I understood now, sharing the opportunity wasn't as scary, and it was a way for people to get the wholesale best prices. So I got to gold no problem, in 9 months, but really it wasn't until I went to convention. And that is when I actually caught the vision. And I realized that, I had my goal of getting my products for free. I got that done quick. So I had met my initial goal, and I needed to know, like, why am I doing this? Like, if I can see the vision, I can see what this opportunity has to provide, but why? And I was telling Melissa earlier, it really came back to the products. I mean, I really, truly love the products and what they've done for me and everything that I've learned and how they're helping other people. And my network was fairly small. And I knew that if I could bring people into the business and teach them how to share it with their networks, we could just explode and share these products with so many more people. And so it wasn't so much like a rank that I was pursuing. I mean, of course, the car and the vacations and Maui. I mean, of course you want that.
Sure.
But that wasn't like, my goal was reaching people and how can I help more people? And then also with the business, I saw what it was doing. Mm-hmm. How can I help people in this business? I mean, one of the best emails that I got from somebody was like, I was able to pay my car payment this month. You know, just those kind of stories. I'm like, wow, like this is like real life stuff that we're making a huge impact. So it was my first convention. It really was.
That's awesome. Okay, so plug for convention then. Those of you that are out there that are, I mean, and so you weren't even sold until you went to convention. No. So how in the world did we even get you to convention? Rachel is my level 2. And our kids went to the same private school together, and you did know several people or had heard of several people that were doing Plexus. So how did we get you there if you weren't even like sold in? Because this is an investment, it's time away from your family.
I don't know. I think, well, and my husband, Jason, he reminded me though too, that so much of this became my community, you know, like as a stay-at-home mom, you know, as beautiful as that role is and how wonderful it is to be a wife and a mother, like there was a little piece of me missing, you know, and you get so wrapped up into taking care of your family. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're opened up into all of these different situations and these different relationships. And you're just like, wow, like I get to do something else too.
Yes.
And I'm making an impact beyond this. And so this has become my community too. And so being able to go and actually meet people in person, and just see what this was about. I mean, it was just, yeah, I don't know. I love that.
I needed it. I love that. So you don't have to know. Like your upline, the people that told you about Plexus, they're saying go to convention, get to convention. Just go. You don't have to know. You don't have to think that your end goal is to be a diamond ambassador or to be driving a Lexus or even financial freedom for your family, but it's fun. We have a blast. Yeah. And Rachel's not a blue, you know, she's the yellow. So it's not like she went for the fun. The community though, I love that. And it's so true how many mamas are out there right now and they're like, I love Texas because it gives me something. It gives me something to invest in and pour my heart into outside of, you know, just being a stay-at-home mama, which is the best job in the world. You know, this opportunity gave me the chance to do that. So I love that. I really love that. Okay. So what role did personal development play on your journey to becoming an Emerald ambassador?
Man, this is a big one. I think we probably could talk all night long just about this. And it kind of goes back to talking about being a mom. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that I was missing out on something that could make me a better mom and wife. And I think that's the coolest thing about the personal growth and development is that it goes so much further than just your Plexus business. I mean, it really does. It's every interaction that I have, even at the grocery store, the relationships that I have at my church, my relationships with my family, my extended family, me as a mom and me as a wife, like that has just been such a huge blessing for me. And it's because of this business and because I was like, I need to learn and grow. And I have to look at my notes because this is just, it's huge for me. But when I opened myself up with Plexus and I put myself out there and started sharing with people, I had people trusting me with their health issues. Mm-hmm. And I had people coming to me, you know, when they had questions about the business. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like I need to help these people.
It's a responsibility.
And I don't know how to do that. I mean, leadership does not come naturally to me. I mean, I tell that to Melissa all the time. Like I have to work really, really hard at this. And personal growth and development is hard because it starts peeling things away that you're learning about yourself. And it's not always fun. I mean, I've had those moments where I'm like, oh, okay, like this is okay. But I've had a desire to change because it's making me a better version of me. And I think that's one of the most rewarding things about this is that, yes, I need it because it's my responsibility now to lead my team and to help these people on this health journey. but it's getting me to a better version of me, and it flows into every aspect of my life, every aspect.
And I've loved watching you on your journey to personal development. I have. It's been so neat to see you grow and develop and be willing to, because I watch so many people in this company and in this business, they say that they want it. And, sometimes as a leader, you have a bird's eye view of what's going on. And so then they come to you and they want to know, okay, well, I'm doing everything that you're saying. I'm doing the daily IPA. And the stumbling block, the brick wall that they're facing is that personal development. And that is kind of like, it can be a breakaway for a lot of people when you challenge them with that and they aren't willing to embrace it and go forward with it. Then they either stay still or they kind of go backwards. And so I'm really proud of you because it was stepping out of your comfort zone for sure. And it's been awesome to see. Okay. So what is the number one thing that you wish that you knew at the beginning of your Plexus journey that you do know now? So y'all are going to want to write this down, I'm sure.
I'm going to have to say opportunity meetings, sip and sees,
okay.
Launching events, launching your business, just different events. I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that. I don't know if you know this, but I think I was working the business maybe for 7 months before I went to my very first opportunity meeting. And she was doing them on a monthly basis, maybe even twice a month. I don't know. She was doing it all the time. And I didn't catch that vision of it. Like I didn't think it was that important because we have everything at our fingertips. We can Google anything. We have the team pages. We have Messenger. We have so much that we can just very comfy and easily do it from our house where we don't have to go anywhere. And we feel like we can learn so much. But I missed that aspect of it, of being around other ambassadors, hearing the stories live, getting people when you're first getting started. Like I feel like I missed a big portion of my warm market from the get-go because I was waiting for them to come to me. I was posting on Facebook, and if I saw something or if I heard them say something, I would go reach out to them. But I wasn't pursuing them, and I wasn't inviting them in to learn more. And I didn't get that from the beginning. And so
Why do you think that is important to do in the beginning? So for someone that's getting started, talk to me about that.
Well, for me personally, it just opens up a little bit more of a conversation. Hey, I have to tell you what I just got started doing. Whereas when you've been posting for 6 or 7 months, it's not new anymore. People, they're like, yeah, I've seen you post.
Right. Yeah, I know what this is about.
I know what this is about.
Right.
And you don't have that personal touch. Having meetings one-on-one with people, or even if you have your network is all over the United States, putting people in 3-way chats and just getting that third-party validation, just capturing it right from the beginning and not waiting for them to come to you. And I think that's something that I did. And I was very fortunate that I did have a lot of people come to me from the beginning with just posting on Facebook. Plexus is getting so much more well-known that it's not as easy to just post on Facebook and have somebody be like, hey, what is that? So I really think that just doing it, getting face-to-face with your friends and family, getting them on the phone, taking them to meetings, having them hear the testimonials, and even for different opportunity meetings or sip and sees, even if you don't have anybody to take with you, go to them anyways because your belief is built. I still, almost 3 years in, I'm just like, oh my, this is like amazing. I still can't get over how amazing our products and opportunity are. I just can't.
It's true. It's so true. And we have the Opportunity of a Lifetime tour coming up. It's coming up soon to a city near you. Okay. It's the month of February, and at the end of this month, our opportunity tour and you're going to have Tarl and Alec, our CEO and our president, Sarah Biergard, our VP of Marketing and Sales. They're coming. And you guys, if you are within driving distance, get yourself to these opportunity events because what Rachel said is so true. It's community. You're going to be around other Plexus ambassadors that are excited, that have the same goals as you to help people find health and wellness and financial freedom. And you're going to hear those real life testimonials. It just builds your belief. It gives you an extra pep in your step, and it gives you some more confidence and some more stories in your toolbox. And it's so important to be at those opportunity events. I love it. And then I love what you said about getting started at the beginning and just like grabbing hold of that excitement and going to people right out of the gate. And your goal was to get your products paid for. So really, you might have done that, even though you weren't passionate and like get super excited about the opportunity. I don't know. But like, so, if you're just getting started, go now, go. But if you're helping to get people started, then encourage them to go out and do that. So
yeah. Well, and I need to add one more thing too. This is the second thing to that is like true intentional IPA, like true, like intentional. And I know like at the beginning, some people do come to you. So that can kind of count towards it, but you're going to laugh at this. So my first like true intentional IPA chat group that I did, how long I had already been working the business?
How long?
14 months.
That's crazy.
14 months. And I asked the Jules today, I asked them, how long did it take you guys to get to Emerald? And I'm like, Melissa, 7 months, and you have some that are 11 months, some that are 13, some are just under 2 years. And I'm like, I didn't start like truly intentionally reaching out on purpose to people for 14 months. So don't do that.
That's crazy to me. Okay, when you say you reached out to the Jules, that was the team Eickenhorst Jules. And so the rate, that's wild. Okay, that is crazy to me, Rachel. All right, so what is one piece of advice that you would give to a silver ambassador who has the goal of becoming a plexus jewel? What would be number one piece of advice?
Okay, my number one piece of advice is just commit. Commit to everything plexus. And by that, I mean everything. You guys, I think you guys have heard that I'm super, super passionate about these products. And I really think that you have to fall in love with the products. And part of that is committing to taking them and trying all the products that would apply to you so that you can have a story and you can fall in love with them. Because I feel like so many people miss out on the passion part of it. Like they understand the business and they want to share with people, but you don't see that passion because they're just getting the triplex. And I'm like, you've got to try more products. You have to understand how amazing these products are. So I would say commit to the products, commit to learning about the products and why they do what they do. That's how my passion grew. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to tell everybody about this because I had no clue about gut health. I had no clue about blood sugar regulation. I could have taken what I experienced and shared that, but I'd still be missing out on so much more. So, commit to learning about the products, learning about the business. This business opportunity is absolutely amazing. And we don't have to know everything about it to be telling people about it. And you can be learning about it as we go. She's got a pretty cool video, Learn to Earn.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Or Learn While You Earn.
Earn while you learn. That's right. Earn while you learn. Start earning now while you're figuring things out. Don't wait until you figure things out before you start earning, because you'll never start earning. So just go, jump in and go.
And then also, commit to learning about yourself. That personal growth and development is, you have to really commit to building your belief. I think that's huge. I think just everything about my whole entire journey has been about committing and just being consistent and just in it for the long haul, not just I'm going to see what happens and I'm going to try it for a little bit, but committing for the long term.
So interesting that you mentioned belief, because when I first started my plexus business, every training I did pretty much was on belief. It really was. It took me a long time before I ever did like a compensation plan training or a product video training or anything else. What I knew when I first got started was I believe in this and I want to make sure that everyone else that joins me on this journey does too. You cannot underestimate the power of having your belief just super solid. So earlier you mentioned that IPA.
Yes.
Income producing activity, for those of you that are wondering what on earth IPA is. And you said it took you 14 months before you started doing intentional income producing activity. Now she was definitely working her business prior to that. So we're talking like intentional. So tell me, like, as you were building up to Emerald, what did your IPA look like? Maybe specifically since your momentum really hit at that senior gold. You hit senior gold Ruby. So to have gotten that, okay, you were gold for how long? I wrote it down, 10 months, okay? So for you to have gone senior gold, ruby, back to back, that meant your momentum hit when you were in gold, okay? And you were there for 10 months. So maybe like what did your income producing activity during that time look like to get you into that momentum? Because a lot of us have maybe experienced momentum and now we're in slow momentum. Some of us are going fast and furious in momentum right now, but tell us about that.
Honestly, that's the exact time that I was doing that month-long IPA challenge.
Really?
Really.
Okay. That's great to know.
So that was at least reaching out to 2 people every single day and then following up every Friday. And I had done that. I mean, it's not that I hadn't been reaching out to people and I hadn't been following up. I was very consistent with that. But it was just a much more intentional being held accountable, making sure that I didn't miss it on the days that I felt like not doing it, right? You know? And that was really, you know, a time, and I can see that in my own business. I mean, there are times, I'll be honest, I'm not doing intentional IPA as far as reaching out to people. And I can tell in my business when that happens. So I'm like, okay, you know, I've got to start doing this again. So, and it's really interesting too. I mean, a lot of my IPA was done in the nooks and crannies. The first 2 years of my business, I had kids home every day.
Yes.
I mean, this is brand new to me that I have all 3 of my girls are out of the house. So that's brand new to me. So I was really, you know, finding nooks and crannies to, you know, maybe I only get 1 message out a day, and I was able to post on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, I did something.
Yeah, you worked your business.
I did it. You know, that might be the only thing that I can do that day, but I was making sure that I was doing something every single day. I was listening to a call. I was just growing myself, learning, okay, how do I effectively reach out to people, you know? And if it took me, you know, 2 days, you know, to work on that, and then I can maybe reach out to 4 people in one day instead of 2 people in one day, I was okay with that.
Okay, so I love that. Consistency is key for sure. And then, okay, so before you were maybe reaching out to people and just like throwing things at them, I love that you said that you were intentional about making sure that you were doing it well. And that is one thing that I know about Rachel, is she does not want to just do it for the sake of checking it off of a list, right? Because it's important, and that's what we're doing when we're doing our income producing activity. But like, if she was going to do her income producing activity, she was going to do it well, and so that it would be effective and produce results. And so can you talk to us about that? Like, how did you know who to reach out to? Because I know a lot of people are thinking like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, where did you even start when it came to reaching out to people? Were you looking at your Facebook list? Were you looking at your phone? And then were you mostly using Facebook Messenger? Like, what did that part of it look like? Because I think that's where a lot of people get really nervous or they get really hung up.
Yeah. Well, when I was brand new, like first starting, I sent out an email to all of my family.
Yes. Yeah.
All of my family, I went on my email because it was, I mean, I really barely knew Facebook.
Right.
I really didn't.
That's true.
I really didn't know Facebook. I mean, I remember when I was just asking, Kristen's like, I'm going to tag you in a post on this page so you can read a testimony. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to find that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Okay, thanks, you know. So, I mean, I was emailing people. I called a few relatives. I started posting on Facebook. And then I was just very hyper aware of like reading what people were writing on Facebook, listening to people in conversation. I just was, because I had been doing so much research and learning about the products and what they could help and reading testimonials, even though, you know, I don't have a certain health condition, if I could learn about that and I could hear somebody else talking about it, I'm like, they need plexus, you know, and I would, so that's just where it kind of started, was listening to people, reading what people were saying, to where I'm like, okay, now I have something to take them.
Yes.
And I have something to give to them, because I want to help so many people with these products.
That's so wise. I think
that's kind of how it started.
That's so wise. So you were being really intentional with listening and observing other people. Okay, so you see someone make a post on Facebook, and for example, I'm wiped out, I have no energy, I don't know. They're maybe saying a complaining type of, is that the type of thing you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, those type of things.
Okay.
I mean, I can even share with, Amanda on my team.
Mm-hmm.
She was in our house church. And I mean, just praying or sharing a prayer request.
Yeah.
And it was about her health. And I'm like, I have to. Like, I was like, I barely know her. And she's at our house church. I can't say anything yet, but I can't not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just different things and because I'm so shy, like, I would just message people.
Yeah, that's okay.
I would just message people, and now, we have the voice messenger now, so that's just, so I mean, and it's just different personalities. I mean, whereas one person might just walk up and talk to them, like, I love that about this business is that it's my business, and I get to do what I want with it, and I have comfort in that.
Yeah.
And I get to, it's me. I'm the one that's sharing with these people. It's not somebody else saying you have to do this.
But you had that conviction of how can I not share? And that is exactly how I was. I mean, the products were working. I was in love with them. The opportunity, I mean, for my very first month out the gate, I started earning, and it was like, okay, I have this and it can change lives and I can't not share about it. And it's like that conviction. So go and get that conviction. Build your belief. Build your belief in the products. Build your belief in the opportunity. Build your belief in the greatest industry of network marketing. Build your belief in Plexus. If you do that, you will be so convicted that you can't not share. I mean, that's exactly how I was. Yeah. So that's awesome. Okay. Now, what's one mistake that you have made in your Plexus business?
Okay.
Because we all make mistakes. There are some great books out there. A great one is called Failing Forward. There's a saying like you fail your way to success. And it's so true. If you're not experiencing failures, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not moving forward. You're not growing.
So I have two parts of this one, and they kind of mesh together. So I think my first one is not starting personal growth and development sooner, and not really learning about the opportunity. And it kind of all goes in with belief. But again, it was 13 months before I picked up my first network marketing book into the business. Don't look at me like that.
It's okay. I love it. I love your story. Because I know that there are people out there that are saying, I want this. I want it. Yet they haven't read How to Rock Your Network Marketing
And that was
business,
the first one.
or GoPro, or just the easy. They're quick. They're easy. They're you can relate to them. They give you action steps that you can start implementing right away. So, okay.
Yeah. So I think that was just understanding network marketing and our opportunity. I didn't need to know the compensation plan. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I needed to understand the compensation plan. It was just understanding the opportunity that we have and what all of it means and the personal growth and development portion of it. Because like I said, 13 months and I was working the business. I mean, I wanted to continue to build my business. But I waited a long time. I don't know why. I don't have any good excuse.
Okay, so what made you get the book? Like, what made you get it? What made you take that step forward? Were we doing a team challenge? Did someone gift it to you? Do you remember?
I don't know. I was going on a cruise, and so I had time to read. I was like,
yeah.
And I can't remember. It might have been from one of your trainings that you said, read it. And And I was getting ready. I mean, convention was coming up, I think.
Right.
It was just
your mindset. It's a journey. It's a journey. And if you hear anything or if you see anything from tonight, it's like cool to see into Rachel's journey. It is. And there's no right or wrong. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. This is a marathon. If you're in network marketing, you can't have the expectation that it's going to happen overnight. And it's okay. Like, it's okay that you didn't pick up your first network marketing book until 13 months into your business. If you've been doing this for 3 years and you haven't picked up your first network marketing book, it's not too late. It is not too late, right?
Right.
I mean, go. But that personal development is so important. Mm-hmm. What role would you say that the personal development, well, we kind of went over that at the beginning, but did something click with you? Are you still sticking with your personal development? Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have so long. I have so far to go. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
I don't think I would be where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Like hands down would not be here if I didn't do that.
Okay. That's great to know. And I can say the same. And I think that most Jules would say the same. So we say it a lot, but there's a reason why we say it. Absolutely. All right. Do you have anything to add to that before we go to the next?
I don't think so.
Okay. So next question. What is the best thing that you have done for your business?
Okay, so this one goes back to the same thing the tip that I gave to our silvers, is committing, completely committing for the long haul. And I did it from day one. And I really can't take all the credit. It was really my husband's fault. Because he said, he goes, I'm going to give you a year. I'm going to give you a year to reach your goal of getting your products for free.
Did y'all hear that? That's crazy to me. So it wasn't like a year to Emerald, a year to Gold. All she had to do was in 1 year earn enough to get her products paid for. So a little over $100 probably at that time is what he was thinking. Around $100 probably. Yeah. So you have a year to figure that out.
I had a year to figure it out. And so
that's crazy.
I was in for it. I didn't exactly know what the products were going to do for me, but I didn't care. Like I was like, I'm in this for a year. I know that we have vitamins. I know we have this. I know we have that. I'm going to learn about it. So I committed from day one, and it wasn't I'm just going to try this for a little bit. Like I'm really going to go all in. So that was probably the number one thing. But I think convention, I mean, if I hadn't gone to convention, I wouldn't have, I can't say I wouldn't have caught the vision, but I don't know that I couldn't, I don't know.
Okay. Talk to us about convention. We're sign-ups. We're at I don't remember. We just got an email about it. I mean, we're really close to full. They're going to open up sign-ups again soon. So what about it did you love? I mean,
I loved being around people, even though I was terrified. I really knew nobody. I mean, that's not true. I knew people on Facebook by their profile pictures.
Right.
But like I said, I'm the type of person that gets in a room and I don't talk to anybody, so I'm like, I'm going to actually have to talk to people. So I think that putting myself out there, that was part of my journey of growing myself, of being able to have conversations with people, completely stepped out of my comfort zone. Just the love of learning, I think, like getting those breakout sessions and listening to the Jules talk and teach you and train you. And then it was back when they had Les Brown. It was in Phoenix. So I got to hear Les Brown. And that was the first time I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, just everything about convention was just absolutely incredible. And I mean, being able to see like, oh my gosh, like a lot of people actually are successful at this. Like, this is real. Like, this is really real. So
it's neat to see, I mean, people being recognized on stage. That's going to be this year. So proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Okay, so last question. I'm excited y'all have stuck with us. Hope you're inspired. Top 3 business building tips, or just give us your wrap up, like the last message that you would want to give to anyone who is watching this.
Okay. So I really think, and I'm going to read something in a little bit to really wrap us up.
Okay.
But business building tips. I mean, it took me almost 3 years. I mean, do I have business building tips?
Of course you do. You're here. You did it. You did it.
I think you can't wait to invite people on this journey. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that you can't wait. And that was one of the things I remember sitting down with Kristen, and she came over to my house and we were talking about it. And I told her, I said, I don't want to post on Facebook. Like I was so annoyed at Plexus people. And there was I did not know, there was nobody, there were no Plexus people.
Yeah. You knew maybe 3 or 4, right?
Yeah. And I was so annoyed. And I was like, I don't want to be one of those people that posts on Facebook. And she was like, well, you're going to have to get over that. And I was like, is there any other way? Like, is there, and she's like, no. And I was like, okay, but I started sharing right away. I mean, I think that's huge. Like, you have to invite people to join you right away. And then don't be afraid to share the business. I think that's something that took me a long time to learn. And that's part of my journey, right? I waited to learn about network marketing, and it wasn't until after I started learning all these things that I was like, oh, okay. So don't be afraid to share the opportunity. And then even when you do finally get people to join you. And even if they're just wholesale ambassadors, you still have to share the opportunity with them. Help them to commit. I think even if they just commit to the products, I mean, and they never decide to work the business. Guys, these products are life-changing, and it's worth it. It is so worth it for them to understand the importance of these and what it can do for their lives. And so just to get them to commit, but also like helping them understand what it is that they have in this opportunity, what they got for $34.95. They may not be ready to do anything with it, but at least you know you've shared that with them.
I love that.
And then they can decide if they want to do anything with it. But if they have no clue, I mean,
so what do you mean by that? Like, tell them what they have with their $34.95. So elaborate on that. I know what you mean, but elaborate on that. Because we have a lot of people that join us in the journey that either say that they want to work the business and then they don't, but they did take their $34.95. Or we have people that we call like a wholesale buyer. So someone who just wants the products at the deepest discount, and they know that by buying that annual membership, it's going to give them that. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's just helping them understand that, look, you can, and again, it's coming back to the products, like you can share this with people and you can have a significant impact in somebody's life just by telling them about it. Like you don't even have to, I mean, yes, we need to share that, like, okay, yes, you have a business. No, you don't have to stock inventory. No, you don't have to do anything. Like, just like the basics of reassuring them that, like, you're not stuck into doing anything weird. Like,
right.
you have a link. You have a referral link. People can order from you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's so important.
And I think they need to know that, but more so, like, don't be afraid to just tell people about it. Even if it's just your parents, like, don't be afraid to tell people about it, because even if you're not working the business, you still have an opportunity to absolutely impact somebody's life. And so just letting them understand that, you know, we have a huge gift.
We do. We do. Yes, I love it. Okay, so wrap us up.
Okay.
Let's. We want to hear what you have to read.
Okay. I shared this with my team right before I got put in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
My first time, I was like, wait, this is
inauguration. This is like jewel hazing, and you're in jail.
Yes, okay, but I'm out of jail now. But I posted this on my page for them, and I had this cute little graphic with it. But okay, so I wrote, I was a gold ambassador at convention in 2015. At the time, I already had been working Plexus for over a year with no real plan of action or set goals. Emerald seemed like a fantasy. I wasn't ready to lead. I needed to continue to learn and grow, and I'm still learning and growing. So how did I do it? How did I get to Emerald? For one, I never once became discouraged that my business wasn't growing, but what we like to define as fast. I had friends who signed up after me and ranked right on by me. I celebrated with them. I kept my blinders on. I knew this was my journey, and I never quit. I never slowed down doing what I was doing. I never took time off. I kept doing the same things day in and day out, all while challenging and stretching myself. Success, excellence, silver, gold, ruby, emerald, it's not going to happen overnight. So, my phone died on me? Okay. It's not going to happen overnight, so stop beating yourself up about it and do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Put in the hard work that it takes, commit to the process, and never give up. If you feel stuck, you need to get into activity. Keep on running. I love this team. Never stop fighting for your dreams and goals because you can achieve them. I believe in you.
That's amazing. It is. There's no better way to end this than you cannot compare. That is powerful, because so many of us fall into that. We start comparing and we think, I've been silver for this long. This person's already ranking to gold. It's not working for me. That's what they think. This isn't working for me. Well, there were plenty of times in your business where you could have sat back and been like, she's going faster. She's doing more. She's better at this or whatever, and said, it's not working for me. But guess what? It's working for you. So thank you all so much for being on tonight. I really, really hope that this just inspired you to go out there, to reach out to your contacts, to work this Plexus business, because it is worth it. We have products that really, truly are changing lives. You are a part of something so incredible. And it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, just like Rachel said to her team, we believe in you. We know that you can do this. So y'all have a great night. Bye, everyone.